If you look at that album cover, I think Jim had his own fur, Shice Bub had his own fur, Luca, but the rest of them is my furs that I put on back. So I bought everybody furs. I bought Tito. I bought Magic Fashion. I bought the block furs. Everybody on my block, I bought chains and furs. K Slay we got RP. I gave K Slay a fur. Whoever ain't have a fur, we have mad furs available. And I'm like, if everybody's so impressed with this Feds magazine cover with Alpo and Rich, I got all that else. Let's put some good music, take a picture with the furs, and then put the music out. Because then when that came out, they was like, oh, them diplomats getting money.
Everybody thought Dipset was rich. But Cameron was the one behind the illusion that changed Jim Jones and Juelz Santana's lives forever. This is one of the coldest marketing plays in hip-hop history. Cam didn't wait for record labels to believe in Dipset. He made the streets believe first. And once the streets believed, the money and the deals had no choice but to follow. At the time, Jim Jones didn't have a deal. Juelz Santana didn't have a deal. Dipset didn't have a deal, but Cameron was the only one signed to Rockefeller Records. But instead of waiting, he went into full business mode. He printed thousands of mixtapes. He flooded the streets. He made sure everybody saw Dipset everywhere. But here's the genius part that nobody talks about. Cameron said that he bought fur coats for everybody. Not because they were rich, but because he understood that perception is everything in this business. Now, I'm about to play this clip for y'all. But before I do, I just need y'all to leave your thoughts down below in the comments section and subscribe. Let's get into it.
I mean, music-wise, look, it's times where people told me, it's always my decision last, but let's just say I'm in a room with 10 niggas and 8 niggas say, Cam, that ain't it. And I'm like, but I love it. I'm like, damn, I can't get. It's 8-2. I got to reevaluate. Tell me it's not it. Maybe I'll throw it on a mixtape. I wouldn't put it on the album. I'm talking about when I was happy doing music. It'd be like, man.
I was going to ask you, give me a song that happened with. Do you remember?
I can't remember, but it's been times where not necessarily songs that ain't it, but that was dope about when we was coming up is that we was doing albums and mixtapes at the same time. So it was more of a situation where we'd be like, this should make the album, throw that on a mixtape. Because if it didn't work out, it was like the mixtapes would throw away anyway. You know, we wasn't making money like that off the mixtapes. Everybody, well, Duke the God was making money off the mixtapes. But we just looked at songs that we put on mixtapes as extras anyway. So it wasn't about, to me, I can't think of a song off the top of my head, but I remember it's time to be like, nah, don't put that on the album, put that on the mixtape. So, but let me think about that and give you an answer at a later date because I can't think of the answer at the moment.
All right. Speaking of mixtapes, when y'all did I love that cover too. When y'all had K Slay on there, rest in peace, with the furs and all that. The money that went from that mixtape, where did that go? Did that go back in y'all as a group, or because I heard y'all sold a lot
of that mixtape. Oh, I didn't make no money. You gotta realize that during that time, we were the first rappers to have our own mixtape. I know it seems crazy to say, but rappers were on DJs' mixtapes. You would want to be on Ron G or DJ Clue or whoever had, a bunch of people on
SNS.
SNS, you know what I'm saying? If you could rap on people's mixtapes, that's where you got your light at, especially DJ Clue. He was on fire. But we were the first rappers to have a mixtape as a group. You know, like I said, it sounds crazy to say. It sounds like when they be like, yo, I'm the one who invented toilet paper. You don't give a f who invented toilet paper. You just go take a shit and wipe your ass. But we were the first ones. And then G-Unit came out with mixtapes right after that, and they was killing the streets too. So it wasn't about, for us, making money. It's more about, we tired of the record label determining when we could put music out. And I just got off Epic and got to Rockefeller, and we just printed up mad CDs and was giving them out everywhere. They used to sell CDs on 125th and be outside, and then they would give the CDs out. And shout out to my man Luca Brasi. He had the thing called the Taliban on 145th and Broadway, where everybody was coming up there to buy clothes, And when you left Blue Jeans or wherever you was buying clothes on 145th and Broadway, you had to buy a mixtape off him. Not necessarily a mixtape, an album. He was selling people albums like he was Tower Records or HMV. So I gave him a bunch of mixtapes to make sure he gave to everybody. And it wasn't just regular people. Jermaine Dupri used to come up there, shop, DJ Clue. Everybody that was in town from out of town or even from another borough used to come up there to shop because they had all the bad in the store. They had all the flash. Luca cornered the market over there. So that's a better question for Duke. Maybe Duke made some money, but I wasn't in it for money. It was more about let's get hot. You got to think about that mixtape, right? I just got off Epic and got to Rockefeller. Just got there. Jim didn't have a deal. Juelz didn't have a deal. The Diplomats didn't have a deal. None of us had a deal except for me. So that was my promotional tool to be like, yo, y'all missing out. We pumping out albums on the streets for free. And we fly. I seen that cover. I think it was the Fez magazine or Don Diva, one of the magazines where I think it was Alpo, Rich Porter. All these people have furs and leathers on, and the streets was going really crazy over that magazine cover. They was like, yo, man, look, them getting it, da, da, da. And I was like, I got all them furs in my crib too. Like, what is they talking about? So if you look at that album cover, I think Jim had his own fur, Shice Bub had his own fur, Luca. But the rest of them is my furs that I put on back. So I bought everybody furs. I bought Tito. I bought Magic Fashion. I bought the block furs. Everybody on my block, I bought chains and furs. K Slay we got RP. I gave K Slay a fur. Whoever ain't have a fur, we have mad furs available. And I'm like, if everybody's so impressed with this Feds magazine cover with Alpo and Rich, I got all that else. Let's put some good music, take a picture with the furs, and then put the music out. Because then that came out, they was like, oh, them Diplomats getting money. Oh, them they getting it because we had the furs on. We looked good. It was great presentation. But as far as
you wasn't impressed though?
I wasn't impressed with what?
With the Feds magazine cover when you first saw it. You wasn't impressed?
No, I had all that shit in my house.
All right.
Look, I was hype.
For real, man.
I was hype about the story. Like, okay, this is dope. This is a great new avenue. Like I said, I thought it was dope. Impressed. I'm sitting there. All right, look, I don't know the date. I'm gonna try and figure out the date. We gonna figure out the date that first magazine came out to the time the Diplomat album came out. Because I was sitting there saying, I got all this. What's the levers and the fur? Like I got 17 closets of that. So it's only about 2 months different. It ain't like I went out and be like, oh, let's go get some levers. Let's go get some furs. Let's do it like this. I'm sitting there saying, why the streets going so crazy? Oh, so it been up out here for a minute. Throw some furs on their backs. Jim, you got your furs. Shice Bub, you got. All right, let's grab the, yo, we already got this in the house. This is what they're impressed about. Let's show them the 2002, 2001, 2002 version of that. That's how I took it. No, not right. No.
Okay. Well, it was a good mixtape cover, and everybody knew where it came from. You know, the original from seeing AZ and all them on the cover, and then seeing y'all, and then y'all had, like you said, you had the music to follow up, and we just thought everything, all that shit was dope, man. I was impressed by both. If you really,
like I said, I was excited about the story, but impressed on what they was wearing. Nah, I mean, maybe when I was 16, 17. By that time that magazine came out, I had some accessories already.
Most artists wait for record labels to make them look valuable. Cameron understood you make yourself look valuable first. This story is deeper than just some fur coats. This is about branding. This is about perception. This is about understanding how the music industry really works behind the scenes. Cam didn't wait for Jim Jones or Juelz Santana to get deals. He helped to create the environment where labels felt like they had to sign them. And that's executive-level thinking right there. What stands out to me is that Cameron was investing in image before there was a guaranteed return. He was building a brand. He was building demand, and he was building leverage. And leverage is everything in this business. Once the streets believed a bet was winning, the industry had no choice but to follow the momentum. Major record labels invest millions of dollars into artists. who already show independent momentum because it reduces their financial risk. Cam understood that early. He turned perception into power, and that helped change the trajectory of Jim Jones and Juelz Santana's careers forever. So let me ask you all this. Do you think Jim Jones and Juelz Santana would have gotten those deals anyway, without Cameron creating that image and demand first? And let's keep it on. Does this story make you respect Cameron more as a businessman and leader behind Dipset's success? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section, and make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.